What's going on, Delta Battle League? Original HypnoToad here, coach of your Omaha Stars, welcoming you to something that hasn't been done on this channel in a few weeks, which is power rankings. Now, reasons why we haven't had power rankings is because, as a lot of you probably know, we had to restart the league, the season. We were like only 2 weeks in. We had to restart, so I guess it wasn't like as crucial as a restart. Like, it's not as bad as like being like 5 weeks in and having to restart. But because we had that restart, we didn't really want to do power rankings for a while, and I figured, I have a little spare time on my own, so why not myself make a video, just kind of give you guys a basic power ranking. These rankings are based solely on the team's overall record, the team's differential, and in case of a tie on both hands, then it goes down to their overall conference record, how they're doing in their conference. And we have only 3 tiers. We have the Pokeball, which is your bottom 4, the Great Ball level, which is your middle of the pack, mid 4, and an Ultra Ball, which is the top 4 teams. This ranking style is kind of a lot like the GBA and how they do the ranking style, except for the fact that we don't have a Master Ball ranking. I personally, since I designed this, I didn't like the idea of using a Master Ball ranking because, to me, the Master Ball ranking makes it seem like they are unbeatable, and like that should be kind of saved until the end when there's a champion declared, and then they get the Master Ball ranking. But that's just my idea now. Obviously, I'm not going to be running this every week. I think here after week 6, we're actually going to hand this off back to the analysts, just because we'll be 6 weeks in. They can have some clear data to work off of, making their own rankings, and then coaches obviously cannot be part of that because we don't want any bias thoughts going into it. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and get going with the bottom 4 teams. So starting out, we have the Denver Rapidash, coached by TCF Eric. They are 0-3 right now with a -10 differential. I'm actually really good friends with TCF Eric. I'm in another league with him. And before the restart, he was actually my assistant coach. When watching his matches, I noticed that a lot of times he's being kind of not hacked out, but he's just not getting the good rolls and like the good hacks going his way. He's not getting good rolls. He's not getting he's missing on 85, 80 accuracy moves. So, I mean, yes, he's not playing he's not playing his team the best way, but you can also go and say that a lot of it has to do with him being hacked out. So, unfortunately, right now they are at the bottom of our list, but there's still plenty of time left in the season, so they can definitely turn around. Moving on to number 11, we have the Kansas City Nidokings at an 0-3 record with a -8 differential. I haven't really watched many of Kansas City Nidokings battles, but I do follow him on Twitter, and I did see that he's kind of asking for some help from his followers, kind of like giving you guys his team, asking you guys who he should drop and who he should add. I think he is making a couple drops, if I remember correctly, seeing on the spreadsheet. So, I mean, he's definitely working on trying to get his team better. I haven't really seen his matches, so I can't really say how well he's been playing or how well he's been team planning. I haven't really watched many of his replays, so I do need to go back and watch some of those replays and kind of just get a good idea of what's happening. Why is he 0-3 -8? Because obviously everyone in this league is a competent battler. So anyways, we're going to move on from that to our number 10 overall, which is the Scottsdale Scolipeds. They are 1-2 with a -5 differential. Now, I know even less about the Scottsdale Scolipeds and the Kansas City Nidokings. This is one of the new teams that came in after the restart to take over for one of the teams. And I mean, honestly, a 1-2 differential with a 1-2 record with a -5 differential is not actually that bad, because it means you're in very close matches. Because if potentially he could be like minus 11 technically, because you could win your one match with a +1 and lose your two matches being 6-0'd. So having a -5 is pretty good for being 1-2. It means that you're in some really close matches. So obviously he's doing some things right, just not everything correctly. So we'll have to see how they turn around this this check mark in the season. And moving on to our last Pokeball ranking, we have the Boston Weasels sitting at 1-2 at a -4 differential. Now, I know a little bit more about the Boston Weasels because they are in my my division, along with the Denver Rapidash. And one thing to note about the Boston Weasels team is he has a really heavy rain dance team. And when you have a rain dance team, you can kind of, as the opponent will know, you can kind of plan your team against a rain dance team and even take advantage of the rain dance. If I remember correctly seeing right, I think this last week he went up against somebody who had Zapdos, and that Zapdos went like 3-0. And so it wouldn't surprise me that Zapdos was carrying like Thunder and just taking advantage of that rain, because I mean, if your opponent is going to be obviously setting up rain, you can obviously take advantage of that and give your Mons like Thunder, give your Mons if you have any Mons that like Swift Swim or Hydration, give them that. Give them Hurricane, that's going to be guaranteed to hit. So give them Water type Stab, that's going to be boosted. So I mean, obviously rain dance teams can be scary, but they're also can be pretty easy to plan against if you have the right Mons on your team. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move on now from our Pokeball rankings, from our bottom 4, which by no means, this is only 3 matches into the season, so by no means is this going to be how it ends up in the end of the season. But anyways, we're going to move on from our bottom 4 to our mid 4. And starting off this great ball ranking, we have the Minnesota Wild Charge sitting at 1-2 with a -1 record, or not -1 record, a -1 differential. Seeing that -1 differential with a 1-2 record means that this team is in some close matches, more than likely. I mean, obviously there are scenarios that can lead to a -1 differential with being 1-2, but at least he's not losing matches by a lot. So that means he's playing very well, and that's a good thing to see, because then it means like, okay, he's obviously planning fairly well, he's playing fairly well. It's just he's not getting the right. He's not getting the right result that he wants. So definitely look to see Minnesota Wild Charge up their game a little bit and maybe turn that around from being a 1-2 ranking to a, who knows, whenever the next video will come out, what their overall record will be. And now we move into the teams that have a positive record, with the Lexington Larvitaurus with a 2-run record with a +1 differential. So this is kind of the opposite of the Minnesota Wild Charge in the fact that they're winning very close games. Having a +1 record, or not +1 record, a +1 differential means that they're in some pretty close matches. Obviously, they're not blowing people out of the water, but they're not getting blown out of the water themselves. So definitely, a good job by Lexington Larvitaurus, and we'll look to see them continue their success. Now we move into our first case of a tie between both the record and differential. At number 6, we have the Chicago Cub Juice, coached by My Turkey Subs. I know that because I'm also in another league with My Turkey Subs, and I've known him for quite a while now. Seeing him at 2-1 at a +3 differential, it's really interesting because he has a really good core of a team. He has Mega Slowbro and Chansey. Actually, I faced him in week 3, and I don't want to be spoiler alerts, but let's just say that he was 2-0 going into that match. But no, he has a really good core of a team. He's been playing really well. It just so happened that I happen to have a pretty good check to his team, or to his core, so things happen to roll my way. But yeah, 2-1 +3 record. They're kind of above, the the bottom half of the league. So definitely good job by my Turkey subs. Now we move on to the St. Louis Swallows, who are also 2-1 with a +3 differential. And the reason why they get the 5th rank spot right now over the Chicago Cub Chews is because they have a better conference record. I believe St. Louis Swallows is 2-0 in conference matches, while Chicago Cub Chews is 1-1. So that is why St. Louis Swallows does get the heads up here. Actually faced St. Louis Swallows in week 1. He actually beat me 4-0, so I definitely know that he has a great team. Him having XY Greninja and Talonflame is just a great combination in my opinion, because he can hit a lot of things fast and a lot of things hard, because Protean Greninja, you can specs it, you can life orbit it, and it'll just hit everything hard. And then Banded Talonflame can hit pretty much anything hard with a Brave Bird. So definitely good job by these 4 teams. Definitely got to watch out for these 4 teams. But we're going to go ahead and move into our top 4 teams, the Ultra Ball rankings. And we're going to start off with another tie in both record and differential. Sitting at number 4, we have the Tampa Bay Duskaliers, coached by Aridon Gaming. He's actually the commissioner of the league. He is actually also leading his division, which happens to have both Chicago Cub Chews and the St. Louis Swallows. So that race for the division on their part is going to be really tough, because they're all sitting at 2-1. Aridon just happens to have one more kill than the other teams do. So looking at his team, I don't really know too much about his team. I haven't had to face him yet, so I haven't really paid much attention to his team. But obviously, to be 2-1 and +4, they're doing something right. And now we move on to yours truly at number 3, the Omaha Omastars at 2-1 and +4. The reason why we have the go-ahead mark over the Tampa Bay Duskaliers is because right now we're actually 2-1 in conference. We've only had conference matches. Aridon is 1-1 in conference matches, so that is why we happen to get the go-ahead heads up on that part. But right now we are leading our division. Like I said earlier, TCF Eric and the Boston Weasels are the 2 teams that are in our division. So right now we do have a decent lead. Obviously, we want to keep on going, though. We don't want to lose any more matches. And I'm not going to say too much more about my team, because I don't want to make this seem like it's about me. Then we move on to the Detroit Gliders, who are 2-1 with a +7 differential, the best differential in the game, or in the season so far. And there's one Mond that he can thank for that big differential, and that is Excelgor. The Detroit Gliders are using Excelgor so well, in my opinion. In week 2 alone, he went 5-0 he won 5-0, and Excelgor went 5-0 in kills to death ratio. So definitely good on him in that part. But I did happen to watch their week 3 match, and it seems like to me, when he was using Excelgor, it seemed like he tried to save Excelgor a few times, when it might have been better for him just to go down to get 3 switch into something else. I mean, obviously, once you get a Mon at 5-0 in KD, you want him to be the MVP, so you want to save him as much as possible, send him in, get some kills here and there, and just go like that. But in the long run, it might be better for you to not do that and just go for the safe, letting Excelgor go down to get a 3 switch in. But obviously, he's doing great so far, so he probably doesn't need to do that. That's just my opinion. So, and then we move on to our number 1 overall team, the only team left undefeated, the Chicago Cloisters. They're 3-0 with a +6 differential. I don't know much about the Chicago Cloisters, to be honest. All I know is that they're 3-0. So they're definitely doing things right. I don't know when we play them or if we play them during the regular season, but I'll definitely be looking forward to that match. And yeah, so That's gonna be it for this week 3 power ranking. If you guys like this kind of style of ranking system, make sure you leave a like on this video. If you guys want to see something different, or if you want to see potentially there being more people than just me, or if you want to just get the analyst in here and do their own non standardized ranking system in, go ahead and leave that comment down below too, because obviously we're trying to do whatever you guys find most entertaining. And yeah, but I mean, this is only 3 weeks into the season, so definitely things are going to be changing. But I had fun doing this video, so if you enjoyed, make sure you show how much you liked it, and I'll see you all guys in the next video of whatever goes up on the Delta Battle League, or if you guys watch any of my videos, I'll see you then. So see you and have a good day.